everyone, I'm Sakar, and today I wanted to talk about the first 24 hours of the Season 1.5 patch, basically with the introduction of the Human Torch and the Thing. I just wanted to tell you guys, I don't know, kind of how my experiences have gone so far in competitive play. I am Celestial 3 right now, so just trying to climb. So this is kind of my experiences at the top end of the ladder right now. I just really want to talk about all that stuff and just like my first impressions of it, where I predict the season's gonna go, all that stuff, what I've noticed with the buffs, nerfs, all that stuff. So if you want an updated and I guess informed opinion on all this stuff, stay tuned. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. I just wanted to do the obligatory YouTube thing of, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If this is a video that you enjoy and you want to see stuff like this more often, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. That'd be really cool. We're still growing on Marvel Rivals, so we're just trying to make a name for ourselves. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about everything first. So Human Torch and the Thing, two brand new characters that we got. Where do they lie in the meta, and how are we going to see them going forward? So to start off with, I've seen a lot more pics of the Thing rather than the Human Torch. I think Human Torch is one of those characters that initially I think people are going to be like, oh, all right, he's got an interesting kit, but I think that he's very intricate. I think that it's going to take a lot of skill for him to be used properly. And right now, I definitely think he's going to be a little bit more difficult to use than Iron Man. But I think that if you can play him properly, I think that in the future, if we see tweaks in the right direction, I really think that he could be really impressive with his ultimate ability and a lot of his just abilities in general. I think he's got a really nice fundamental kit, I guess. Also, I wanted to keep this video like 100% real. So this is going to be a 100% unedited long take monologue. So this is all just me rambling and ranting and just kind of getting all of my thoughts out of my head and just into this video. So as I was saying, I think that he's got a very intricate kit. And I think that once people understand him and understand his combos more and understand what characters kind of help buff him, I think that he's going to be very, very, very impressive. But right now, at this moment in time, he kind of feels lackluster because nobody really knows how to play him right now, myself included. I'm trying to figure it out, but I see the vision of his kit. I just haven't cracked it yet. That being said, when he's playing with Storm and you have two aerial characters, bro, that is insane. Like Human Torch and Storm comboing, the amount of damage that you guys could do if you like flank together or just do something like that, guys, good luck going up against that. So I've tried the Human Torch. I like him. I am still trying to crack the code on him a little bit more. He's definitely the character that I've played more between him and the Thing. I haven't even touched the Thing yet as far as playing him, but I do want to at some point. I have seen him a lot in competitive play so far, and my thoughts are that he has a lot of survivability. I think that he's going to be a welcome addition to the tank meta, especially with a slight nerf to Doctor Strange. And I feel like a few other tanks, or like him comboing well, is going to be really nice. But I still have a little bit more that I want to see from him. But I'm actually kind of impressed with him so far. I think that he's a tank that's been added to the game that's kind of in a nice balanced state already. And that's really weird to see. A lot of the times people just see people like new characters coming in and being incredibly impressive right away. But I think that he's actually really well balanced. I think that he's a very large character, so he's a very easy target to hit. Like, guys, as a Moon Knight main, I have already loved going up against the Thing because he is a very easy target to hit, and you can just bounce your damage right off him. I love it. With that being said, I think he has a lot of survivability. I think his ultimate is really nice as well. I think his ultimate has a lot of potential as well. The amount of stun time on that, I'm sorry, but that allows so much room for follow-up damage. So he is great for something like that. And I think that he really, sorry, I'm burping. I think that he really, really, really works well in a two-tank environment when one of the other tanks is a shield. Something like a Magneto or a Doctor Strange. I think that I think that Magneto and Thing are probably going to be a very meta team up right now because of the bubble that Magneto can give and then the shield that he can provide as well. I think that those two are going to be probably really meta going forward. So that's going to be really cool. So overall, I think that the entire Fantastic Four was a nice addition to the game. I think that most of them are going to be kind of relevant going forward. At least half of them are. I think the Thing and Invisible Woman are going to be very relevant. Mr. Fantastic he's all right. He's not the best. He's not the worst. He's got some really good survivability, but I don't know. He's one of those characters that I don't know. I just don't think he's too great compared to some other characters. And I'm excited to see how people start to figure out how to play the Human Torch a little bit. I think that it's going to be really interesting. I think that his damage being kind of like a shotgun in a way with his damage spread is kind of nice. So that's going to be interesting to see. So also something that I want to talk about is I am at the end of the day, I'm a Moon Knight main. He's my favorite character in the game. I think that he's got such damage potential. And I think that, yes, guys, I say this all the time. I think Moon Knight has an incredibly low skill floor where anybody could pick him up and be really good at him right away. But that being said, if you take him to the next level, really work on your aim and actually get a lot better with him, like your movement, all that stuff, I think he could be an insanely S tier character that people just kind of sleep on because they're just like, oh, Moon Knight, no aim. But guys, I want to talk for a second about Moon Knight because he got some changes with this new patch as well. Two notable changes are his ultimate. It takes an extra second to have the claws start to drop. So you don't have that initial burst that a lot of Moon Knights had. And honestly, I think it's a good change. I'm obviously biased towards Moon Knight and I want him to be as strong as possible, but I don't want to be carried by something that's unbelievably broken as well. So I think that it's a balanced change for the overall health of the game. I understand that a lot of people didn't like being just like standing there, then 2 seconds later, just being absolutely obliterated by his ultimate. I think that his ultimate is still incredibly viable. I think that there's a lot of damage potential to be had there. And I think that it still works incredibly well, especially if you combo your ultimate with like a Thing or a Groot. I think that it works very, very, very well still. And it's still very, very, very relevant. I am not upset about the change in the slightest. I think that it's very strong. And I think that it was something that was kind of needed for Moon Knight. And again, I say that as a Moon Knight main. I try to be realistic about that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be, I'm not just going to be that kind of person where it's like, okay, this is my main character, I want all the buffs to him. No, I feel like the best way for the health of the game to go forward is to kind of just see what's good for each character, the strengths of it, the weaknesses, and just have a nice little healthy balance. So, plus, if the only way that you can get eliminations with Moon Knight is with his ultimate, then you don't deserve to play Moon Knight. That's really the best way that I could put it. But also his other change is with the team up with Cloak and Dagger. You now get a 25 heal per second every second that you're standing inside of your team up ability, so your little bubble. And honestly, it is crazy cool. I think it's a really good change to help his overall self-sufficiency and his survivability. I think it's a really good change. It's one of those things where it's enough of a heal that's going to make a difference, but it's not such an overpowered heal where if you stand inside of it, you're going to be invincible. So I think that's a nice, cool little mini buff with him that is really helpful to the character, because I think a lot of people are still going to be playing Cloak and Dagger, even though they got a significant rework. And speaking of Cloak and Dagger, I thought that it was really interesting, all of the changes that went into their kit. I think it's really cool to see their ultimate regeneration get significantly nerfed. Like, guys, that was well needed. Even Cloak and Dagger mains, guys. Cloak and Dagger is the best character that I play as a support, so obviously I want them to be as good as possible. But that being said, their ultimate generation was absolutely insane and way too overtuned. So to see it slow down a little bit is really cool. But also what I really like as well is, so you can't stack your dashes anymore on the Cloak and Dagger ultimate, but you move so much faster, which is really good because you could spread out and take a lot more area without being hardcore targeted by Magneto, because you're a lot faster now. So that Magneto ult would always counter you and all that stuff. But I gotta say that it is really nice to see it so that Cloak and Daggers can just move around really quickly in their ultimate. And honestly, those are kind of the main things that I wanted to talk about right away. I really feel like healing is still strong. I don't think it's as oppressive as it was. I still see some triple support every now and then, but I think that's in a really interesting and nice little balanced place, because obviously you want ultimates to feel good, right? You want your ultimates to feel like they're potentially fight changing, and having it so that you're throwing out ultimates every 2 seconds is, especially with Cloak and Dagger and other characters like that, it makes them feel less special, right? So it's nice to have these healers have those ultimates less often. They still feel strong, but they just don't feel like they're happening every single fight like they were in the first part of season 1. So I'm happy with the direction that they went with that, and I hope that they stay with that and they kind of find a nice little healthy balance between support, DPS, and tank, because I think there is a nice little balance right now, and I think it's fun, and I think that the game's in a really good spot right now. And I say this all the time, but if anybody's upset with the game, I'm curious as to why, because the rate at which this game is expanding is unbelievable. This game's been out for 2.5 months, and we have 4 brand new characters already and 2 brand new maps, as well as a new map as well for like the Doom match and stuff like that. I'm not really a big fan of Doom match, but still, it's there to be said. So I think that this game is working and going in such a great direction, which is a reason why I'm so enthusiastic about just putting out videos as often as I can, because guys, at the end of the day, I do really love this game, and this is not an act or anything. I'm having the time of my life so far, and to have a video game come out at this point in my life and just have me obsessed with it like this, unbelievable. I haven't felt like this in so long. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, liking the video helps me out so much. Commenting is a huge way to help me in the algorithm as well. And subscribing to the channel is the best form of support you guys can ever show me, and I would highly appreciate that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Later.